Hello, this is Scott Eustace for Louisiana Fence Line Monitoring. I've been asked to collect data on incidents from companies, and we're going to look at the NRC data in Louisiana using the Skytruth interface and some of the data processing necessary. I'm in the middle of it. I thought I would just try to do 5 minutes on a methods so you can see where I'm coming from. And I've already produced the records for Sulphur and Lake Charles. It's simpler to get a smaller geography, of course. We're actually maxing out. So you can only download 20,000 records at a time using Skytruth, and we've maxed it out. So I will share the file of the NRC reports for Sulphur and Westlake. Here's how we do the whole state. All right, so I think this will work. Does it work? Is it working? Maybe not. There it is. Okay, so this is the file, which I'll share and make available to anyone with the link. Do a lot of work in Sheets. It's kind of the lowest common denominator. I've created a bounding box, which is repeatable by going to this URL. See Skytruth alerts. If you have NRC clicked, it'll have the top 100 alerts in this geography. I've tried to edge out Texas because there's a lot of Texas as well as Louisiana, and edge out the Gulf. And I barely am getting the border at the top of the box. And that's the problem. It's a bounding box. So we're going to pick up a lot of Mississippi and Louisiana that we're going to have to delete. But think about, if you're only focused on St. James Parish, this is much easier. It's whatever you zoom in. You also have to log in. So notice I'm logged in to Skytruth. I have NRC selected. I have no keyword searches or dates. It goes back to 2001. And I hit download because I want everything in Louisiana. It'll list the top 100. You want it to show the top 20,000 alerts. And then download CSV, I think, is the most interoperable file, because then it'll be known as alerts, and you can see I have 8 of them before this one in the queue. And this has 20,000 records. Really quickly, you can see how far back 20,000 records gets you from October 2023, and it gets us back only to 2015. So I might consider doing this again, but starting, using the same bounding box, but I want to go back to 2001, so I might have to do this several times. Okay, so some of these fields in the Skytruth download are no longer populated. We can delete these last 3 sources. I like to rewrite latitude and longitude out, because there's several different parsers in GIS that look for those words. This is latitude, longitude in decimal degrees, as reported, incident date and time. Really just, it's the date now. Skytruth used to have the time. You know that each one of these reports has a time. It's just not downloadable in the Skytruth alerts anymore, which is a little sad. I miss having the times. So what I can do, though, is each of these alerts, there's a field for link in the download. What we can do is do a this field, the ID field, is actually part of the URL for the Skytruth alert. And we'll create I'll create a concatenated hyperlink. So this actually will now go to the Skytruth site if you want to dig into the original report a little more. The summary field has a bunch of characteristics, and we want to be able to sort based on these different characteristics, like did it affect the air or water? What's the NRC report number? What's the incident type? And a lot of what's in the report is in the content field. This can be searched for things like gallons of oil, what kind of pollutant was released to the air, that kind of thing. But first, just to get ourselves organized, we're going to do a text columns on this summary field and delimit the columns by a dash. And this mostly works. We'll get an incident type. I'm going to edit out the incident types. Notice it didn't give me, I'm missing about 25 replacements. So there were, and even fewer on the NRC. So that means out of 20,000 records, I've got some misalignments when I did the text columns. And so there's a lot of data cleaning that needs to happen because of the way the CSV is created. I think what's interesting for our air pollution especially, we got about 900 missing suspected responsible parties. But I noticed that I do now have the NRC number, medium, and then SRP, and usually SRP1, SRP2, 2. Updates. So now that I have an NRC field at J, I'm going to change that to J2 so that my hyperlink is named with the NRC number, and copy it so that all of these fields have the hyperlink as the name. I mean, the hyperlink is the NRC number for going to the external Skytruth site. Okay, and when we do this text to columns, the responsible party is there, but it's often the most complicated item. So we want to sort by type. If there was you can see how if there was a dash in the suspected responsible party or in the type, it's going to screw up a lot of the things. So we have these aircraft, continuous, fixed. And I should mention, we're going to have to sort by state as well. There's a way to do that. Right now, I'm looking for this non-release because that's something that misaligns our suspected responsible parties. So there's a lot of data cleaning to do. Hopefully, most of my 900 errors are in that non-release. Then we consolidate the names. So if we have, let's see if I can't find anything. Just for example, CSX and CSX Railroad. Those are the same responsible party. I would pick CSX Railroad and consolidate those two names into one party. So if we do a pivot table or a search, there's only one company with a name like that, and it would be CSX Railroad. I guess I prefer, International Matex Tank Terminal might also be known as IMTT somewhere elsewhere in the data. I might choose the longer name as long as it's not too long. If it's like ConocoPhillips Partners Limited LLC, I might just say ConocoPhillips Partners, but there you go. That gives you some idea about how the last thing is whether or not the report is an update. It looks like I can't use that. You can search for descriptors using the search function in Excel on the content. So we want to search for update. We want to search the content field F2. So especially for error releases, which we're considering in this project, error releases or pipeline releases can have kind of a double report because we have a DOT required 24-hour update. So we want to do a quick text search. So if the word update appears in the content, then we've got there's a number of the character where, character number 574, the word update appears. And if you go there, you can see that this report 1324539 is an update to 1324935. So in fact, I'm going to label 1324535 as updated. That way we know that if something is labeled updated, we know only to count it once. And that's how we get the number of incidents by company using the NRC data. I'm going to cut it off now, but you'll notice that the state is actually in the title in field B. And so I'm going to cut this list by state and only have Louisiana and no Florida reports at the end of the day. I'm also going to have to do this a few times to get around the 20,000 record limit in Skytruth. But that basically shows you the basics of the method. I'll put more notes into the Google Sheets. All right. Adios.